How's it going? I'm Chris with PearsonCopy.com, and I'm here to help your brand to make more sales with email. Today, as a part of my 100 emails and 100-day challenge, I'm breaking out an email from a brand called Dr. Squatch. I was looking at their website, looking through some of their socials. They're a pretty great brand, pretty funny brand. They've got a personality. They're Dr. Squatch. Here's a little mascot kind of dude, but he's pretty funny. It looks like he's a monkey of some kind. He's got a pipe that he smokes. And it's just part of their brand personality, which I really liked. And that's one of the reasons that caught my attention, and I signed up for their list. I think about a week ago, and this is a part of their welcome flow or welcome series. I believe it's not their first email, but it is a part of it. I would imagine. So that's the context behind this email of how we're going to actually be breaking this down. So yeah, with that being said, let me go ahead and dive in. Subject line for this email is give BO the boot, give body odor the boot. Again, back to the personality piece. I think this fits their personality. It's more conversational. It's definitely got some slang to it, and the language is definitely personal. It's from Dr. Squatch. The other cool thing about Dr. Squatch and the brand is their from name is Dr. Squatch. So they've got the mascot, they've got the guy that's representing the brand, that's the face of the brand, and they're actually giving Dr. Squatch his own email. And that's who sends emails is actual Dr. Squatch. So this is something that brands could do is if you want to stay behind the brand and not be the face of the brand or say, hey, this is my first name, I'm the brand owner, and this is what I'm doing. And sending emails that way, what you can do is actually have a mascot or some kind of representative like Dr. Squatch to represent your brand on the front end. And you can say in the back end, behind the scenes, running the business and doing things like that. So that's one alternative to this whole from name, from email thing. Here with the from email, it's a support at drsquatch.com. I would potentially change that or test it to like hello at or info at or Dr. Squatch at drsquatch.com would be a little too much. So maybe not that, but something to make it sound like it's Dr. Squatch's actual email. The support at gives it away, that it could be automated, that it could not be coming from a real person or the actual mascot. People will suspend belief and to say, okay, if Dr. Squatch is this monkey looking ape dude, and it's coming from Dr. Squatch and it's hello at Dr. Squatch, they will suspend belief and believe that Dr. Squatch is an actual person. And they'll feel like they're actually making a connection with someone as opposed to a brand or a figurehead. So that's something to consider here when you have the from name, from email decision to make for your brand. So yeah, moving on down. Next piece is the brand logo, brand name. Again, Dr. Squatch, like in my other breakdowns that I've done on my channel, I really like the simple logo, simple name, and just get out of the way and get to the products, get to the content, get to the sales message. Dr. Squatch does this. They move into upgrade your deodorant. So they're playing. We'll get to the paragraph down here at the bottom, but they're playing on the idea of, or the angle in that concept, and the idea of give BO the boot, essentially upgrade your deodorant. So that is going to be the mechanism to the solution, right? So if you upgrade your deodorant, that's the mechanism to the solution to give BO the boot, right? So that's essentially what they're doing is they're showing the mechanism up front. This is a solution. And then still using those sticks from middle school that are packed with harsh chemicals and aluminum. So they're playing on the problem here, or the pain point is going to be harsh chemicals and aluminum inside your pit stick or your deodorant or et cetera, whatever you're using for fragrance to get rid of BO. So they're leaning on upgrading your deodorant to get rid of this. So the order here is actually flipped. So usually you talk about the problem first and then you offer the solution. They flipped it. They said, hey, upgrade your deodorant. That's the mechanism to essentially the solution. And then they say, hey, here's the problem. And then they actually say directly what the solution is. It's time to give BO the boot with Dr. Squatch natural deodorant. So they have a little mixture, the mechanism, problem, solution, all in this one top section with this graphic. Aesthetics and everything I really like. I do prefer plain text, but the design and layout is very simple, very clean, and I enjoy Dr. Squatch's brand and their aesthetic and the way they design things. So, but yeah, anyway, back to this piece. Something else that I noted here is Dr. Squatch. It seems like, and I would assume, I don't have data to back this up, but I assume they're targeting primarily men in the men's market, men's grooming and men's healthcare, men's care market or niche. And so the idea of harsh chemicals and aluminum inside of deodorant, when I first read that, I was like, okay, yeah, I already know that about deodorants. There's nothing new here. Nothing new here to see. Didn't really catch my attention. It's like this has already been played out. So I understand the concept of giving BO the boot, but how does the harsh chemicals and aluminum connect to why it gives you BO? That connection was not made when I initially read this. My initial connection to BO was you smell, you're not clean, maybe your diet's different. There's other reasons why you might have BO, but harsh chemicals and aluminum are not what my brain connected to. I could be totally off here in the audience. This may be completely new to the men's market. They may not understand or know that there are harsh chemicals and aluminum in certain brands, certain deodorants, etc. And this is a new thing for them. So that could be the case based on research, data, etc. So, but for me, that didn't come top of mind when I read this. I was like, oh yeah, I already know that. Cool. So what? And so that's one note here. I'd say with Dr. Squatch, maybe they could test or look at or adjust or even look into is what other message can we go with here to talk about give BO the boot? Like, what's the main big pain point that causes BO, and how does upgrading your deodorant solve that problem? Right. So that's just a note here that I would say upgrading. Otherwise, I really like this email so far. So shop natural deodorant. So that's their concept of their big ideas. They have natural deodorant for I'm assuming men. It could be for everyone, but that's what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling right now. So the next piece that I really like about this email is that they actually introduced their meet the odor squatching system. So one, odor squatching, that's funny. That made me laugh first time. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And then they talk you through their system of odor squatching and what they do to actually help you get rid of BO. So this is like earlier when I was talking about this paragraph, like I would almost be tempted to show the meet the odor squatching system and make this the point of the email. So give BO the boot, upgrade your deodorant, use our odor squatching system to do it, and then just not even mention the problem and just go straight into the solution of the mechanism, and test that and see what it does when it goes to engagement, like clicks and sales. But anyway, so meet the odor squatching system. They have their own system. They call it that. So when something is defined as vague, that hill over there, people don't really pay attention. But if you say that green hill over there with the tree on it that has the red truck at the top of it, they're going to be more specific. Or there's, I can't remember where the study was, but there's a study about a person calling for help in a group of people or a crowded city or crowded street and saying, hey, you over there, help me, didn't get attention. But when they said, hey, you in the red shirt, help me, or hey, you in the blue shirt, help me, it actually got attention. People, the specificity of the blue shirt actually got the person's attention who was walking by, and they came over and started helping. So that's what happens when you give, if you have a certain unique way of doing something, or you have a certain angle or a different perspective, giving that a name, a system name, or some kind of a formula or format that you can give people to say, hey, this is how my system works. This is what it's called. This is how you can use it. It's specific, and they're going to remember that, and they're going to be able to apply it in their own life, or even think about it outside of your marketing materials or your sales message. A very powerful thing to do is to get a sales message that sticks in somebody's brain, so that when they're not consuming your content, your marketing, your ads, etc., it pops up in their life. And they think about, oh yeah, I learned that from Dr. Squatch or from wherever, and they're at the grocery store in the middle of buying like chips or something, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a Dr. Squatch thing. If you can get to that point with people when it comes to your messaging and stuff, you essentially have some real estate inside their brain, right? And when it comes to systems, naming conventions, things like that, sales messages, this is why giving yourself a system or calling something a system or giving a specific unique name helps a ton. So anyway, that's just some psychology behind that. But their system here: charcoal powder, arrowroot powder, probiotics, jojoba, and shea butter. So you've got the charcoal powder, natural deodorizer that controls odor. So natural deodorizer is going to be your feature. Benefit is control odor. The dimensionalization isn't huge on this, but you could in a paragraph down here, or maybe even another line saying, hey, this is what happens when you control your odor. People like to be around you more. They don't avoid you more. They don't step away when you get up close. They actually want to hug you instead of avoid you because you don't smell. So like if they could dimensionalize this a little bit more, add another like couple words or a line on this, it's going to make the system even more impactful, right? But it was, so let's go through the other ones. Arrowroot powder. There's a mechanism, absorbs moisture and keeps you fresh. So feature is going to be absorbing moisture and then keeping you fresh is the benefit, right? So helps restore skin balance for probiotics. And then the same thing for jojoba and shea butter. Pit friendly, nourishing moisturizers for your skin. So pit friendly is going to be your feature. It's pit friendly, doesn't harm your pits. And then nourishing moisturizers for your skin, that's going to be your benefit. That's the outcome that you get because of this. So they've got a little feature benefit stack going on here with each feature benefit combo. And like I said, with this, if they added another line or maybe a couple words to dimensionalize this, so absorbs moisture and keeps you fresh, so people will actually want to hug you and not avoid you when you get up close. Like that right there is going to add a little bit more punch to this, as opposed to leaving it with just a feature benefit combo. So otherwise, I really like this, saying that they have their own system. So yeah, there's that. Then the typical shop now button. Let's keep on moving. And then here, I believe they have a stack of 3 of just different bundles you can buy. So you can buy one, the individual, and then go into the bundle system where it's like, hey, if you want to buy a bundle of 3 different fragrances or smells or various like that, bundle of 3, the 3-pack. You've got the deodorant and soap set bundle. So 3-pack of deodorant and 3-pack of soaps. And then they also do a Suave starter bundle, which is basically looks like shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, and soap all in one. So they have their three tiers of offers here. 4 tiers actually. You can buy individual at the top. You can buy the just the fragrance or the deodorant soap, and then deodorant soap, shampoo, conditioner. So they offer that as bundles. So there's different ways that customers can buy, pending how often somebody visits the site or which email this is in their welcome series. I don't know if I'd offer the bundles at the bottom. I would potentially offer just one bundle, and then from there send other emails about the other bundles. Or if they go to checkout and they buy the 3-pack deodorant bundle, I'd say, hey, let's see, this is 34 for $20 more. You can add all these soaps and get the deodorant and soap bundle as well and make it an upsell. That at the checkout page is going to probably do more for you than actually offering it as a bundle in this stack inside of an email. So that's something to maybe test later too. And then finally, so shop bundles. So you can go to the bundle page. If you click on this, it goes to the site and they have different bundles like this that you can just shop and buy bundles as opposed to individual products, which is fantastic. And then finally for this email, I got their standard footer information, just the brand name here, questions, contact, support squad, the Squatch Care Squad, which is a pretty great name for their customer support, and then shop soap, bundles, deodorant, subscription, social icons like usual, and your standard footer info. So with that being said, that's the breakdown for this email. There are a few things that I mentioned. One, just your messaging and your sales message. I think the sequence here got flipped a little, but I think it still is effective. I don't know if the harsh chemicals and aluminum actually fits this with the odor squatching system. There needs to be a more direct connection between the chemicals and aluminum and the BO. They didn't make a direct connection there of if BO is caused because of those things. So I was kind of like, okay, yeah, that's not really new. That's something I've already known. Maybe it's new to the market. I could be totally wrong, and that's totally fine. That's based on data and research. But yeah, so maybe I'd switch this up and maybe go a little more personal and try to hit home of like, are people avoiding you when you try to hug them, or something what kind of problems does BO cause for people, and talk about that. The mechanism behind why they have BO isn't necessarily like a gut punch for this. A gut punch would be, what are the outcomes of BO and how can you switch that, or how can you solve that with upgrading your deodorant to Dr. Squatch, to an all natural deodorant. So those are my thoughts. I hope that helps. Take the insights. If you've had any from this email, from this breakdown, take it back to your brand and start implementing and see if you can get some results. If you do, please reach out and let me know. I'd love to take a look at what you got, the results that you got. And I hope that this breakdown will help your brand make more sales with email. If you want to see more of my videos, you can check out my channel. Otherwise, I will talk to you later.